I am the Hillbilly Hacker. Welcome back to the Sandbox. Today we're looking at the last email I got from the IRS, supposedly, telling me that I needed to sign a DocuSign. Now, if you look at this right up front, you can tell that this is not from the IRS. So let's take a closer look at this email. You can see that the email itself says it comes from IRS e-services, but as you look at the email address itself, BR, that's Brazil. Last time I checked, the IRS did not outsource its work to Brazil. So, first and foremost, I'm looking at most of this and going, this ain't real. There's no way this is a valid email. As a reminder, we have our Comcast business internet connection going into our Meraki firewall, going down to a virtual system with 4 virtual servers or workstations running. And we're going to start over here on Sandbox PC01. This is where we're going to do all of our traffic, or all of our exploiting from. And we're going to see if we can see what this actually goes to and what it does. Now, yes, I could go do some exploration of this website using a couple of third-party tools where I download the entire content of the website to my local computer and dissect it that way. But where's the fun in that? Let's go click on it and see what actually happens. Okay, let me close this. Let's get over to our sandbox. Now, this is server 1. I'm sorry, PC01. But you'll notice I also have DC01. DC01, as we said before, is our domain controller, DC. And you'll see on all of these that I've already run my red shot, which does a full copy snapshot of the Windows registry and all the files on the system. I believe it also does last time accessed and also the size so that we can see what might have changed. And I've done this on all 4 of our boxes here. As you can see as we kind of go through these, let's pop these off. This is, that's PC02. Like I said, that's a standalone box. And there's server 1. Server 1, like I said, has a web server on it, just, and a file hiding in a share. So we're going to see if these guys, wherever this goes, actually gets back to that and finds it. So I'm going to take all that offline. First thing I'm going to do in the background is I'm going to go turn on Wireshark. Now, if you don't know what Wireshark is, it's a packet capture software that lets you see in real time the internet traffic coming and going on the interface of this computer. We're going to put it off into a log and we're going to kind of watch it. So I'm going to go to all the systems and I'm going to start capture on all the systems. Move a few windows around. One of the things that we get to do with having Wireshark running, here we go, is we get to see in real time what's going on in the background. Now, because this is a completely sandboxed environment, I've had to get creative with how I get the links and the files and everything over. I did set up a separate email account in Gmail that I zip files up and send them across. You'll notice I'm running Bitdefender on this computer. It's been updated. And as we can tell here, I have brought in what we're going to be working on in this scenario. So I don't have to get out live and email and try to do this, because the way most of this is coming in is to my personal email or to a Gmail account that I have set up and kind of agreed to everything so that I get a bunch of spam email. So some of this could very well just be spam, could be trackers, could be exploits, could be all the way up to ransomware. We're going to track and find. So here's the first one we're going to work on today. It's the email that we saw earlier. And this is the link that happens when we click the email we saw earlier. Let me clean up our desktop a little bit. And let's say go. All right. This website has been reported unsafe. Congratulations. All right. Now, this is good news. Microsoft has blocked it. So has Bitdefender. So we got it from 2 different angles. So, Microsoft recommends you don't continue on this site. It's been reported Microsoft containing phishing threats that may lead to steal personal information. Really? No way. Let's continue on anyway. Oh, now Bitdefender gets me. This is the great thing about having all this layer of protection. So, I'm going to pretend that I don't have any of this and say, I understand. Let's go there anyway. So it's telling us, no, go back, go away. Yeah, I'm sure, let's go. Let's see what we come up with. Oh, look, it's not private connection. The HTTPS is invalid. Now we're getting into even deeper layers. Whoever put this out there, as clean and pretty as the email itself is, they really didn't do a good job at bringing us in to something that looks just like where we want to go. Here we go. Fourth layer of protection, Cisco Umbrella, automatically came in and said, hey, I see that this is not a valid place for you to go. Now, while we're doing this, if we look at our Wireshark captures, you'll notice that we get some interesting tiebacks here going into acknowledgments and resets. This is Umbrella dropping our connection. So this is why we're running Wireshark. Wireshark gives us a deep, detailed understanding of what's going on. So because we're running Cisco Umbrella in this, it is blocking us from even trying to go into it, and which is great and all. So we say Microsoft blocked us, Bitdefender blocked us, our backend DNS protection with Cisco Umbrella blocked us. I would say that this would have a very hard time getting through anywhere, anything, anytime. Let's take a look at another example then. This is another one that I received from the Department of the Treasury. The Treasury Department? Telling me that the IRS has sent me a new document regarding the tax update and I need to review this document. Sounds familiar, looks familiar, because this is exactly what the last one pretty much said. So let's drop that out of the way and get back to the sandbox. Now this one is here. Now you'll see this one, whoever did this one did a little bit better. This is a US-based web page IP address. Now, if we go back and look at the actual email, what does this tell you just by looking at the fact that this is for Brazil? This is the same group. This is the same phishing scheme, same group. Now, how does phishing schemes work? This could be a service, phishing as a service that a North Korean hacker or a Iranian hacker or Russian hacker or Chinese hacker bought access to, so that they could send email to the U.S. From Brazil. So that doesn't come from China. Because guess what? We block most of the traffic that comes from China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and a few other places. So you have to go out and get these third-party services, which exist out there all over the place, that you can do spam, scams, ransomware. You can do it all. Ransomware as a service exists. So let's go play with this and see what this takes us to now. So BillBell.com. Copy. Ding, ding, ding. BillBell.com. Go. We're not getting blocked yet. Things are happening. This one's already been taken down. So the fact that this website is already gone. This happened on 3/20. Now, granted, that's almost a month ago. I usually have to catch these really quick. So this has been reported and already taken down. The IRS services email that we had up here earlier, this came in this week, Tuesday. It already got notified and dinged as being invalid, which is great. This is good stuff. However, not if you're not running your services properly. If you're not running a good endpoint protection system, if you don't have your app and browser controls turned on in your security because they're not on by default, Microsoft would have never caught any of this. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward here. These two so far we've been able to catch and block and avoid. Let's look at our Xfinity one. This one came in this week as well. I've gotten 2 of these, and you'll notice they look very similar. Here's one, and then here's the other. You notice the similarities with the way they are. Someone is basically hacking over, either hacking or buying a domain. We'll see how common this one is. Now, here's the thing about this one. Let's take a look at it in email, because let me just tell you, in email, I ain't clicking on this. There's no reason in the world I would ever click on this. Number one, it was way down here. Oh, it froze me. Because what's happening right now, see everything's frozen. It's just kind of not responding. The system is reviewing this email before it even lets me open it. And my system on the back end is blocking the automatic processing of all the stuff that's in here. What you can't see is that this is being processed and pushed through on the back end as part of the browser view. So when you open up an email in Outlook, for instance, or online, it opens it up in a web browser view. If the web browser view senses HTML inside that document, it will try to process it. Unless you have some sort of application in there blocking it, preventing it from processing, it could automatically run software. A drive-by download right in your email. So let's take a look here at this one. All right. Let's see if we can get this to take. We can't reach that page either. Already gone. That fast. All right. This is good stuff. This is very good news. This means that a lot of this stuff has already been hit, already been removed, and we're going to have to do this a lot faster. I guarantee this one's already gone too then. Yep, already gone. Same as before. All the protections that I have in place, Microsoft did not catch this time. Bitdefender did catch it and say, you know what? I'm not going to let you process that. And then Umbrella came back and said, oh, I'm going to smack that one in the face because that's not a good one either. I'm going to set up another one. We're going to try again. Well, this is great. Our first run at trying to find some actual spam links out there in the world. And what do we get? Nothing. So we've hit a couple of different walls here. We've hit the Microsoft wall. We've hit the Bitdefender wall. And we hit the Umbrella wall. I removed Umbrella and I bypassed Microsoft and Bitdefender to allow us to go onto the web pages. And guess what? We still can't get in. Why? They've already been knocked offline, which is fantastic, especially if we go back to the one that we did as soon as this week. So if I go back to the IRS one that hit us, this came through at 5:30 on 8 p.m. on Monday, which is interesting to me because that fast, they've already gone in, swooped in, taken this domain completely offline. And I think it's because they were emulating the IRS or federal services that it happened this quick. This is unprecedented. We've never had a situation where spam links and things get taken down so quickly. Now, if you're not running, first of all, the right configuration in Windows, basic Windows, or even Mac, you don't tell me that everything's safe because you have a Mac, because it's not true. And I'm going to have a Mac in here in the next couple of weeks to show you that Macs won't protect you from anything like this. Macs aren't what they used to be. They're running Intel hardware, they're running PowerShell from Microsoft on the back end, and they're running Linux code. All three things that I would attack as a penetration tester. So you're not safe just because you're on a Mac. Furthermore, if you're not running some sort of endpoint protection software, whether it's on a Mac, your phone, tablet, anything, you saw that immediately the system popped up and said, hey, I don't think this is safe. Even if it's not in some definition or database in the back end, it says what you're asking me to do is not normal for you. So that's the importance of having an endpoint protection software, because it knows baselines. It knows what's normal business and what's not normal business. Now, you notice the Umbrella side. That's an added feature that I have as part of my firewall that protects us from the corporate side. I had to bypass it just to get through. So we had 3 layers of protection to get through But if they're not programmed right, if you don't pay the $30 a year to have your antivirus, your endpoint protection software, or pay a little extra to have that umbrella, you're wide open. Okay, looks like we got a little lucky here. I went through some other email and I found another Internal Revenue Service email. This one's not coming from Brazil. You'll notice that this one is coming from optonline.net and tax service portal. Right, sure. Hover. If you hover, you may not be able to see this, but this is a very short list. It's going to tu.pw. Now, let's go find out what PW is. I don't know right off the top of my head. That sounds like the domain name PW sounds like it is a country name, and sure enough, it's Palau, P-A-L-A-U. If you don't know what that is or where that is, I couldn't tell off the top of my head. That's a Google question right now. So we have this one. It's live. It's working. Let's see if we can add it into our system here. I do have everything still running. There's my email. I'm just going to type this in because I didn't want to go too far with it. HTTPS to UPW Palau, as we said, ESC6KM. Oh, it's doing a website verification from Cloudflare, or so it says. This is not me. This is not Cloudflare. We got a live one. All right, let's verify we're a human and see what happens. Okay, we've been redirected to another domain, irdSSS.com.es. Any guesses on ES? Come on, this is an easy one. ES. That's Spain. Español. España. Of course it's Español. Look at this. Oh, we got something, boys and girls. Look at this. It's downloading a remote PC host to our computer, and it's going to want us to run it. We got one. Now, I wonder what this does. This is an executable file that I now have on my computer, and it's like, your document's been prepared. Go ahead and click on it. Okay, why not? I can tell you without looking at this what this is. This is a remote control file for a system to come through and take us over. It's asking me, okay, remember when I said that I was logged in as a regular user? The regular user does not have the permission to run this. If you're running your workstations as the administrator, listen to me carefully. If the user on your computer, even if it's your computer, has full administrative access, this would have never popped up. Now that it's popped up though, I'm an idiot, so I'm going to be like, okay, let's go through with it. I'm only going to give it local access, so sandbox PC 01, Sandman, and then my password. And boom, we now have a connection coming in from the backside. Now, what is this backup file? We're capturing all of this. I love it. It's great. Remote PC host. This is a standard PC host program, remote control program that's used by most IT departments to get into remote computers. So what it's basically doing right now is it's putting in the remote access capability, and then it's going to push a payload back to us, and then we're going to be able to see what it does. Hold your breath, everybody. This could get really exciting really quick, or could do nothing. But this is what happens when you catch spam. As soon as it comes through, we actually get something. So this system is now doing a remote installation. We'll be able to track it here. It's doing a setup. Now what I'm going to do secretly, I'm going to pull up our Windows Task Manager. There's our red shot. More details. And you see the screen just changed? It's because we have an active connection coming in from the outside now. See how everything's slowed down? Now, I initiated this connection. What does that mean? Someone is in here right now. Remote host, remote PC service. They're connecting in right now, and they're planting things. So if I were to look here, the problem with this is now this is an encrypted package. So now I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know what the data that's coming in. They're looking at our screen right now. Our PC downloader. You see this downloader running here? It's going to dump in something probably nasty, probably some sort of extra malware. Downloader's still running. We're going to give it a few minutes. Okay, one downloader's finished. I do have their remote IP addresses. We are going to check and see what IP addresses these are too, by the way. Yep. Downloader's still running. I'm very curious what they're downloading. Let's see if it's in the downloads directory. Nope, that's all my junk. Documents? Nope, nothing there. We got some runtime brokers running. So they're kicking software back across. And I'm curious to see, currently we are on 10, okay, so we're on 2100. I'm gonna go take a look at some of our other boxes and see if 200 is out there talking. Sure enough it is. It's talking to our DC controller, which is normal. That's very normal. Our other boxes are not getting communicated with at the moment. Server 1's not getting any communications, neither is PC 2. So I'm going to run a netstat. ANB. Of course it does. Now, what's really bad, okay, the download, you see the download is now gone, but the remote viewer is in place. Someone's looking at our screen right now as we speak. Someone has now taken over control, well, not control, but they're in our computer. Now, I could let this run for a little while and see how far they go, but I don't really want to. I think we've figured out right now that this is an active exploit. It's actively working, and people are actively using it. Now, I fully expect, quite honestly, for this to pop up and tell me, you know, there's suspicious activity going on in your computer. Or do I? See, Bitdefender's not going to help you here. There it is. Remote access enabled. We even have the person's email address. So I now have an email address for the person that's connected into me now, that I could go in and basically tell Gmail, hey, this person is spamming us, is running a spam situation where they're doing remote control. So this system is now under the control of a hacker in another country, most likely in another country. And we go back and do the run through on it, and we say, okay, how did this happen? Well, we went to a Spanish website, which means either this is a hacker from Spain, which is doubtful, or there's a computer in Spain that was taken over and compromised and used as the command and control server for the software to download. Now that we know that they're in the system, we know that this is an active issue. I'm going to go here and I'm going to exit this. Yes, I am. Bye. I'm also going to go here and I'm going to end the tasks. Oh, I need to be an administrator. All right. Because I logged in as the administrator to do it, now I have to have administrator privileges to turn it off. And guess what? It's going to continue to come back. So now the person's already inside the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run CMD as the administrator. And I'm going to say netstat A and B. All right. Let's see where everything's going. Now, this is a handy little tool that tells us what's listening on the box and the connections that are established. So we have search app established back, which is probably to Microsoft. We have BD service, that's Bitdefender. We have a service host here. Not really sure what it is or where it's going. WPN service, BD service, BD agent. Remote PC services listening. So we only have a few established connections at the moment. I did turn a lot of stuff off. Once I killed that connection for the remote service, I may not have given enough time to plant something. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see exactly what level of damage was done. So I'm going to stop this capture. I'm going to save as. And we're going to leave it in the documents, and we're going to call this April 16, because that's today. I'm going to save it in there. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close all that. I'm going to do my second shot. Hang on. Do the same thing I did before. Do my second shot. Shot and save. We know for a fact that the remote PC software was installed. We know that a connection was made. We even saw the user the connection was made through. Now the question then comes is we have this information, what can we do with it? Unfortunately, nothing. We could pass this over to the IRS and say this Gmail account was showing that connecting in through this remote software and pulling this, and we can have that domain blocked. We could do a couple of things like that, but odds are it's already in process. I will probably go ahead and put a posting on the IRS website, and I'll also go ahead and alert the Gmail administrators to this person. It's a very short-term solution, however. Hate to say it that way, but it just is. Okay, we put everything back. I reverted everything back to the snapshot for these computers. Make sure nothing else is still out there. I'm going to monitor it for a little while just to make sure nothing slipped through, just to be safe. I was able to retrieve the packet capture from Wireshark, and I have kind of gone through it. So what's neat about this is if you look at it from the beginning up here, you can see where we hit the Cloudflare challenge for this website that we were hitting, which is interesting because if you noticed, it did give us a Cloudflare challenge when we came on board onto it, to the website. And this is the website here. So 2u.pw actually has a Cloudflare component to it. Whether it was actually Cloudflare or whether it was something a little more, I don't know what you'd call it, a little more fancy, and was pulling images from Cloudflare, which is a possibility, just so it looked like it was from Cloudflare. That I've seen that done several times. So what you'll notice is we go through this, and it points over to this Google user content information. So it is pulling data from a third-party location. But the most important thing here, so you see the Cloudflare Insights. So it is doing some of that, but our main communication is with this 2u.pw server, which is a compromised server running as a command and control system to get you to download the remote control software, which you'll see here. See, we ended up at irdSSS.com.es, which is a Spanish website. This is the one that's actually compromised. The front end is just it's probably a tiny bit, a bit.ly redirector. But this is the one that's actually compromised. So then it forces us out to download remotepc.com. Well, this is a legitimate location, legitimate service, but it includes with it the configuration file to say, hey, here's the user that you're going to connect to once you load. It's already preset, pre-done, drop it in, let it go. And then as we saw in the configuration, once the person got remote control in, they started dumping files to themselves off of our computer. So I don't have a list of the files that they pulled. I'm going to go back and do a little research on the reg shot to see what was touched. But it looks like they started doing a full snapshot of the computer to see a little quick scan to see what was out there because they had 3 searches running. So they're looking for specific files, looking for passwords. They're looking for stuff that they can steal and sell. And then they were also going to be looking for the rest of the network. We did get a few places here where they were hitting the domain controller, but I kind of shut that down before it really hit. But then really, they kind of did a smart thing here. You'll notice there's no outside traffic. Everything runs directly through the remote PC software, which is great because the remote PC software has 2 very important functionalities to it. Number one, it is 100% encrypted. So as we're looking at the data that's in here, this is all encrypted data. You have your you have TLS information in here, and it says ignoring. So this is information that you're not going to be able to really deeply see. Now, because we're at this computer level, we can see the packets before they're encrypted and before they're sent out. But you'll see that's encrypted data. So there was no other point in here that it talked to anything but remote PC. And you can see remote PC is just going through and talking to its different locations. So it ended up in Naperville, or Marseille, which is in France, Asia. So it's bouncing around. It's collecting its stuff. So what's great about this is for the hacker is you don't know where this hacker is. You have no idea where this hacker is sitting. It could be China. It could be the moon. Honestly, as long as they have an internet connection, they're routing everything through remote PC. So let's do a quick recap here. Let's talk about exactly what we did and how we got to this point. Let me close this and get you back to this. In a matter of seconds, once we found a fully functioning and working website that we clicked on and was able to pass through into, we had a download, we had remote connection, we were compromised. In less than a minute from clicking the application or the link inside that spam email, we were fully compromised. Somebody was already connected in, ready, and doing scans. Could have been automated, but it's still, you already have someone or something, a bot of some kind in your system, filing through all your stuff, looking for important data, and possibly even downloading things. We saw several downloaders inside the task manager. Obviously, they were downloading something. Like I said, I'll check RegShot to see exactly what it was. What can we learn from this? First of all, you noticed in this, Microsoft didn't catch that as a bad website. Bitdefender did not catch it as a bad website or a bad download. Why? Remote PC is a perfectly common software package that's perfectly safe that people can use. Furthermore, because we initiated the communication, the system thought, oh, you are accepting of this because you initiated it, you want to do this, and since we don't see anything malicious with it, we're going to let it happen. So, what can we take away from this as far as safety goes? Well, what did we see in the first set of links that we tried? We tried a link from Monday afternoon. Today is Thursday. That's a 3-day period. In 3 days, the very same link or the very same set of links had already been disabled in the systems. So we were seeing it blocked from Microsoft, we were seeing it blocked from Bitdefender, and we were seeing it blocked from Umbrella. You notice we didn't see any of those 3 stop us on this one because this system just came out yesterday. Now, if you get an email in that you're unsure about, 3-day rule. If it says that you have to do it now, even more reason to wait 3 days. If you're in doubt, call the person who sent you the email to verify on a valid number, not a number inside of an email. In a next couple of episodes, we're going to show you that the emails themselves contain phone numbers straight to scammers. And they're going to try to get us to do the exact same thing that we did here, download an application so that they can get remote access into our computer. Now, the other most important thing that you can do with this, make sure you have the most up-to-date software. Make sure that you have your applications configured properly in Windows. Make sure you have a strong endpoint protection software that stays up to date. And for that extra bit of protection, if you're a business, you better have some sort of a DNS protection like an Umbrella or some other third party that's monitoring your internet traffic, because you saw that saved us in a couple of places from being able to pass through. Granted, a lot of those sites were already shut down, but Umbrella didn't even let us go through. Now, I'm not endorsing anybody here, but anything is better than nothing. Well, that's going to do it for Hot Spam of the Week. I hope you learned something. Definitely interesting to see it live, isn't it? So, you get a chance, check out our website. It's goscnow.com. Blogs are also in there, blogs or blog.goscnow.com. Check out our podcast, Hillbilly Hacker, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're on Spotify, we're on Amazon, we're on Apple, anywhere you get them. Until next time, Hillbilly Hacker saying, stay safe, please.